Good afternoon, Black Cosplayer Society. This is your main man, Will Antilles, aka Darth Revan, aka Zero Requiem. I'm here with the talented, the exquisite, the masterful, the last foam master.
All of these things.
Introduce yourself.
All of these things. Thank you. Name's Chris Dixon, Mr. Tetris. What's up, y'all?
Hey, what's going on?
Good, chilling.
Yeah. Hey, so we're here to do a quick interview to tell us a little bit about yourself. And the first question I have from you, because I read your bio, is great. Everyone should go read his bio. I'll put it in the tagline in the video on the YouTube channel so you can see it. What made you finally come out of the closet, per se, not to be play on words, as a cosplay player? Because you know we get ridiculed because it's not something everyone does in our community.
It's funny because like when I first was interested in cosplay, it was years ago. It was like when Cutie Pie Sensei did her Legend of Korra Avatar cosplay, and this was like a while ago. This is I can't remember how many years ago.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, it was so long ago, and I thought it was cool. I thought the whole concept of it was cool, and I just put it in the back of my head. And time passes, and I'm starting to see more and more cosplays, more and more people doing it, more conventions. Comic-Con is getting big and big, and it was just something I always wanted to like take a part in. I always wanted to go out to Comic-Con. I live out in New York, so it was like no reason I shouldn't have been able to go. Still haven't gone yet. Then I found out
you haven't busted your con cherry?
What happened?
You haven't busted your con cherry yet?
No, I have not. I was supposed to with this BlurCon. I was going to go deep.
Where was that at?
This is Allerton, Virginia.
Okay, my old stomping ground.
Yeah. So
I used to be stationed in Fort Myers, Virginia.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was 30 years ago. So, but yeah, I'm ancient. I'm the ancient one now.
It all works out. It's for everybody.
Yeah,
it's definitely for everybody. But nah, I came out as a cosplayer because I was like going through like probably the worst point in my life last year. I was probably going through like one of the worst points in my life. And I was like, I need something to keep me grounded that I'm not having to pull from other people, that I can pull from like what's going on inside of me.
Okay.
Like that. So, instead of like, instead of working out, doing all craziness, trying to help people, dealing with relationships and everything, I chose to take it to a creative side.
Okay.
And I just spawned with cosplay.
All right, cool. That's some good stuff. I kind of was always out in cosplay because I always had elaborate Halloween costumes and stuff like that. I just started calling them cosplay when I learned the terminology 20 years ago, whatever, 20 years ago or something. And then what happened was when I got with my wife, she was into Halloween, and then we just ran with it. So I know that we had some of the similar experiences coming out. What was the first challenge you faced when getting into cosplay? Because a lot of times when you try to get into cosplay, you used to have these elaborate plans to do these big cosplay productions, and then reality hits you. So what was the challenge?
Quick. The first challenge is I'm broke. Like you look at everything.
So say we are.
Yeah, you look at everything like that it costs to get into cosplay. Like and it depends on the type of cosplay that you want to be. Because I'll say this up front for everybody, cosplay is a range. It is a wide gradient. You could cosplay in your pajamas, and it'll be a cosplay.
Yeah.
And you can cosplay a full 10-foot armor, and it's a cosplay. And it's really just a matter of what your scope of what you want to do is. So the hardest challenge of getting into cosplay for me was just the money, because I'm like, I know what I want to do. So then I started looking into exactly what I need to purchase to get there. And I'm like, Comic-Con tickets is like $400. I want to be there the full weekend. That's $400 off the jump. What do I need to make an armor? I need tools. I need my Dremel. I need a heat gun. I need all this equipment. I ended up, I got lucky. I ended up getting my student loan for when I did go back to school last year. And I got it when I decided I'm gonna drop out. So Like, I have that student loan. And I was like, well, that's capital. That's how I'm starting. And
Okay.
it just worked out like that.
All right. So of all the cosplay, you looked at everything. You decided to become an armorer. For the people that don't know, that's like a blacksmith, except for in cosplay, we don't necessarily smell. Well, there's people who do smell. Now, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about low level affordable ability. You are a armorer. You are a skilled individual. So tell the people, why did you choose to become an armorer?
Because I know up front it's cheaper to make my own costumes and armors and use my own creativity. If I make a mistake, I'll fix it. You know, I'll learn how to fix it, do what I got to do. But I know it's cheaper to do that than to pay somebody like me to do it for me.
Trust me, I priced it.
Yeah, I look at my prices for things, and I'm like, I'm not charging right. I'm just like, I'm looking at it like I'm not charging right. But equally, I know I'm not a master, so I don't want to charge somebody for like this master craft, you know, that's not supposed to have no mistakes, no faults, and everything like that. And then they feel like they got shorted by the quality of the work.
Right.
I know I'm still learning, so I charge according to where I know I'm at.
And what level is that? What level would you say you're at? Are you said you're not a master, so
I want to say
intermediary, beginner.
I want to say I'm somewhere like just in an intermediary, because
okay, so you're transitioning from a beginner to an intermediary type, where that your armor will be probably 70% accurate. If I
absolutely
throw a number out there now, folks, that's what I'm looking at right now. But yes,
that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm thinking like anywhere 70-80% accurate to my expectations and to the expectations of the customer. And for me to get to those higher levels, I know I'm just gonna have to start taking some classes for a couple different things.
Okay, so what is the you get a lot of people who wants you to do custom work, I imagine, and when you say that you have a level that you want to get at, what is that level? And did you reach that level with any of the pieces you have put together in recent memory?
I don't know. Like, I know she's a popular cosplayer, and armor and everything. Her name is Kamiyu Cosplay, Slivliana. I can't pronounce her name right, but she's a YouTuber who does cosplay tutorials and everything. That is the goal for me.
Okay.
You know, as a black man, to be able to put out that quality of work and have like a studio to myself to be able to work on cosplays, whatever, you know, whether it's a commission or it's my own personal, something like that. I just have the interest to pick up something. That's the quality level that I'm trying to shoot for. So I think the closest I have to it is I did a Bowsette Bakugo armor. Bowsette crossed over with Bakugo armor. And that's the closest I'm getting to it. I know I need work on my painting, and I'm taking a couple of classes for that now.
With the painting, you always can say it's raw. You can be like, these armor pieces are raw, because you can just be upfront, like, I'm not the most skilled at painting, and just tell them it's raw. And here's the thing. If you sell it at raw, you can sell them at a discounted price, and you'll find that you may get even more people, because sometimes people have their own paint schemes that they want to do, stuff like that. Just a little advice, because I'm not an armorer, of course, but I've spoken to a lot of, when I was looking for my Darth Raven armor, I was speaking to 5 armorers a day, and you're right, not affordable. It's ridiculous. They wanted a small used car money. I'm like,
they do.
Really?
They do. I looked up online. Because I use a lot of patterns. I'll go on Etsy or something like that. I'll get patterns to make the foam armors that I make.
Yeah.
And some of them will actually, like, they'll make the armor and sell it. And then I'm looking at what they sell it for, and I'm just like, it don't add up to what I'm charging, because I know the work that it took to make it as an armorer. You know, and it's crazy. Like, I know my prices are a lot cheaper than anything that anybody online is doing right now. And I think it's fair. I want it to be fair based off like what a cosplayer, especially a new cosplayer, you like. like I said, money is one of the biggest issues when it comes to cosplay, depending on where you want to be at and what you
Right.
want to do, how you want to look when you go out. So for a new cosplayer to start off and be like, okay, let me look up, I wanna dress up as Bakugo. Let's say I want to dress up as Bakugo. I look up a costume for Bakugo, as accurate as it could possibly be, it's $1,000. Where am I? Where am I getting? Where am I getting that?
No, this is
Where's it coming from?
that's a whole paycheck for some people or more. It is just ridiculous. And so when I was engaging these armorers, they felt like, because they had so many back orders, they can just charge. And then when you say, what do you want to charge with it? And I was like, well, my budget is $250 for a breastplate and 2 braces. To me, that's
right.
That's about high as I would like to go. If I'm not gonna create my own, especially since I know someone who can create me some armor, it would take her longer than they would, and it might not be as clean and professional. But man, some of those pricing on those armorers charges is ridiculous.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
I'm just walking outside to do a con or maybe a photo shoot. And they charge it like they're working in movie studios.
Or like you were going to wear it daily or something like that, and it's supposed to build to last, for a year's time or something like that. And
it's not.
These are props. This is foam. Like it can get damaged.
It will disintegrate after a while through just regular air, wear and tear sitting around. Yeah. So speaking about the process, what is your process? So let's say I'm a customer and I want to get a custom order from Chris Tetris, the last foam master. I like that.
Yes.
You came up with that yourself?
No, I if I say on this stream that I took it myself, this guy's gonna kill me.
Oh, wow. Well, go ahead, give him a shout out.
My boy John, he from Philly or whatever. He's a cosplay enthusiast. Like he's interested in cosplay. He hasn't really jumped into it yet.
Right.
And I'm supposed to help him out with a commission idea. I'm gonna keep it secret because it's actually a dope idea. I would have thought of it myself.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I'm really proud of like mashups. I'm really proud of like mashup cosplays and everything. He came up with it himself.
Nice.
So he's the one that like coined the term for me, like the last Foambender, when I was looking for another Instagram name or title for my channel. He came up with the last Foambender.
Okay, I like that. When I seen it, I was like, oh, nice play in words.
Yeah.
Pretty good, because if for the people who don't know, it's a play on The Last Airbender or Avatar to some of you folks.
Yeah.
Go ahead and look at it. It's a pretty good anime. Not really my cup of tea, a little kiddie for me, but it's one of the great ones.
It's not an anime.
Huh?
It's anime quality, but I hate that it's not an anime. Because it's like American made, but it's anime by anybody else's standards. It's an anime.
Well, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
So talking about coined terminologies, tell me about the term blurred. I know you probably didn't coin it, but tell me about it. You have it on your bio.
Blurred it's been around for a long time. It was originally like coined for just the black nerd. And at that point in time, it was like, just black intellectuals. And the main example that anybody had for a black intellectual was Urkel. And I hate Urkel. I hate her. I despise her. Oh my God. Nope, there's nothing you can say. I despise Urkel. Because it's like,
I did that.
Yeah, like I don't like Urkel as like a character based off of like what he did or how funny he was or goofy or anything like that, or his interests and stuff like that. Because as a black nerd, now what we use it for is, the people that's interested in like the out of the norm stuff, or what's catching up to be the norm, the animes, the pop culture, the comic books, the video games, the science fiction, fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons, all that stuff
that we've been doing since jump. Now it's becoming popular, and sometimes I feel that people are infringing on our personal space. But the more the merrier. But I get it. Yeah.
It was like it was always popular. And that's one thing I'll say. It was always popular. But it was always something that just seemed to be stigmatized for being popular. It'd be like, oh, that's the weird kid. He over there, he likes anime and stuff like that. That's what it always was. And my issue, particularly with Urkel, is that for a lot of black nerds to have Urkel as an example of what a black nerd was back then, it was, you can't you're not going to be accepted for just being Urkel. You got to change to be Stefan.
Right.
You want to find somebody that you want to be with, you want to be accepted in society and all this other stuff.
You must change yourself.
You got to be Stefan.
So,
and that was always my issue.
Right. And here's the thing. All nerds don't act like Urkel. For blurs or geeks, I don't even call myself a blurred or nerd. I call myself a geek because a geek is very different. A geek, they technical, they play basketball, they do all these sports and stuff. Because I play a lot of sports and people call me nerd or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm a geek because I can shoot a jump shot or whatever. Hey, Joe, watching this, come get this 50 dropped on you. I'm sorry. I had to shout out.
No, for me, all of it falls under the same umbrella. Like the geeks, the nerds, the blurs, and everything, it all falls under the same umbrella. But specifically, it's as long as you black and you have these interests, for me, you fall under the umbrella of blurred. And that's okay now. Mm-hmm. You know, that's okay now.
It's becoming cool to be weird and stuff like that. Like I was on a phone call with my cousin and I was telling him about this trip that, you know, you seen my Darth Raven trailer. Yeah. I don't know if you see, but I made another one. I was telling him about it and he's like, man, you're so weird. I'm like, what? He's like, no. Weird is a good thing. Weird is good. So yeah, so weird is becoming the new norm, I guess, maybe. So.
It's supposed to be accepted. Like that's the whole point. It's supposed to be accepted. If blurs as a whole can be accepted, you know, then my ambition is that black cosplayers will be more accepted because they hit this wall of like you get to a certain level of status or, you know, visibility out there in the community, and then it's like everybody just starts like
hating on you.
That character is in black or you're not, you know, this color, this you're not, you know.
That touches on something when I was on the subreddit, the cosplay subreddit in Reddit. Yeah. I was just scrolling. I like to scroll through to see just the cosplay. This is something I like to see. And this was a black female cosplay. She knocked it out the park. I forget what she was. I think she was, damn. It was I think she was Velma. Maybe it doesn't matter. She was bad. She was 100% accurate. Somebody just rolled out the N-word. And I'm like, ain't that about a bitch?
Somebody gonna watch this and comment on my thing with Velma. I got a Velma cosplay thing, man. It's bad. I love Velma cosplays.
Okay,
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. They do it all the time.
Yeah. Let's move on a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the different materials you work with. Like we said, you're the last foam master. Why foam?
Last Foambender, yeah.
Bender. I said master. Oh man, I gotta change the bio.
I'm trying to get to the master status.
All right. So you're not a master yet, but like they said in The Last Dragon, you look like a master to me with your work because I can't do that.
I appreciate it.
So why foam over other materials?
Why foam over other materials? It's relatively cheap. Especially like you get it from like certain vendors, it's relatively cheap. You can get a sheet of foam like 3 feet by 60 inches or something like that for like $10.
And how much can you turn that into?
I could turn that into like, all right. I redid a Robin cosplay, almost a full armor, yeah. And for that thickness of foam that I use like 8 millimeters thick. I use almost the whole sheet, and you know, I have well over some of the foam left. You know, it's
which you can then use to incorporate into
use for something else. Yeah, I can use for details for something else. Like a lot of people don't keep their scraps from the foam. Like you cut out a specific shape and whatever was on the excess, a lot of people just throw out. Like I keep a lot of that.
You can make that into teeth. You can make it into teeth and little accessories.
Yeah. You can make it all kind of stuff.
Because I was watching a lot of foam videos and she was taking her leftovers and making other things, smaller things. Okay, that's great. Yeah. All right, so we're ending near the end of the video interview. Don't want to keep you too long. So I will get right to it. Who is the greatest X-Men and why? Because we have differences of opinion when it comes to the land of the X.
Mine is split down the middle between Cable and Apocalypse. And I know you don't think Apocalypse or can appreciate Apocalypse, I know you can't appreciate Apocalypse.
No. I said Apocalypse is not an X-Men.
He is.
I appreciate Sonor. Trust me. I've been
isn't.
following Apocalypse for a long time, son.
As of the House of X, Powers of X, and Dawn of X storylines, as of last year, he's an X-Man.
Well,
and it is a long time coming.
Like I told you, I'm back. I know you sent me those links. I'm gonna go ahead and catch up, but you know, we all know
I actually put up 2 videos
is the
about
first mutant. So, well, not everybody, but
I actually put up 2 videos about it for anybody that wants to catch up on those storylines on my page.
Yeah, I see that. I'm gonna catch
because they're amazing storylines, and as much as I don't like Professor X, it justifies like everything I was saying about him before, where like he doesn't change up his tactic regardless of how many time travels, how many times Cable came from the future to try and save the world, and he leaves, and Professor X is like, okay, that's cool.
You gonna make me break out my time? All right, first rule of time travel. Will and Tilly's first rule of time travel. You do not time travel.
Yeah.
First number rule of time travel. Do not time travel. Second rule.
Not supposed to.
Never meet yourself. I have like 9 rules of time travel, and if there's a real time travel out there, you should adhere to my rules.
Cable follows the rules.
Yeah. Cable
follows the rules because I don't remember a storyline that he went back and met his younger self up until like House and Powers of X. I think he killed himself.
Yeah, so but that's sort of like the Vance Astro. This might be before your time when he went back and skewed the whole Marvel universe, and that happened in I think this was one of the very first times that the timeline skewed. I believe it happened in Marvel 2-in-1 out of 1970 something.
Yeah.
I just went and I think one of my guys had it when I was in the Army. I read it or whatever. But yeah, time travel is great. I know Apocalypse is your guy. I like Apocalypse as a bad guy.
He's an amazing bad guy.
I think he does the bad guy monologue. Shut the hell up and get to doing what you're supposed to do.
For me, it's more than just that with Apocalypse. For me, he's the embodiment of social Darwinism. Like when I was going through all my own mess or whatever last year, I was at the worst point in my life. It was like an apocalypse mindset. It was like, yo, survival of the fittest. Mm-hmm. I will challenge you constantly. I will break you as many times as I can. Are you going to get up?
I'm going to tell you that the best version of Apocalypse, a lot of people don't like this storyline, is the Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He took war to humans. He was walking across the continent.
Loved it.
Changed everything. Yeah, absolutely. There's no Xavier to stop him. Absolutely.
I loved it. It was so great. Wolverine, no hand. No, man, it was just
Magneto messing around.
Dark Beast was a beast.
Yeah, it was a perfect storyline. My favorite storyline for anything Marvel wise is the Onslaught series, because it was really like Apocalypse was in the shadows. He was like, I'm just gonna take over after all the dust settles. And he was like, dust ain't gonna settle on this. You better jump in now. He was like, you know what? Survival of the fittest. Let's go.
Right.
That was my favorite storyline.
But my favorite storyline, well, all of Marvel, besides anything in the Galaxy, the Guardians of the Galaxy, I was reading the original Vance Astro led team before. Wow. Yeah, so that's me. But my favorite storyline, no one likes this, the Clone Saga, Spider-Man. Love that storyline.
You know what's wild?
No one likes it. I love it.
No. It's wild because I was just saying the other day, because I went through a whole, like, I was on Disney Plus and I binged through like all the animated series and everything.
Yeah.
I watched X-Men and Spider-Man and everything like that. And they must have did like 3, like the last handful of episodes was the Clone Saga.
Yeah.
Before, and I was like, yo, I would have actually really appreciated a show that showed everything from the Clone Saga, because it was massive and it was incredibly confusing. Like, just going through it as a reader through the comics, it was incredibly confusing. So it was something that I always wanted to
like
get into on a comic book, like somebody appreciates that.
Sort of like how they took Into the Spider-Verse. They basically took the the Madam Web Into the Spider-Verse storyline, and basically gave it to Miles Morales, and they had him run with it, which was excellent done. I love that. Probably my favorite Spider-Man movie.
That was a perfect movie for that.
Yeah.
They need to do that with the Clone Saga.
Right. And then another thing they needed to do, if they really want to do it, I really would love if they redo the Cryogenic Nightmare, that series. It's Spider-Man. Yeah. It's in Spider-Man, the Spider-Man animated series, 1999, I think. It's called the Cryogenic Nightmare. It's like 20 episodes. I'd never seen a cartoon up to that point have it's almost 20 parts of this storyline. It was unheard of.
Everything that had to do with the Lizard, Morbius.
Oh yeah, the Morbius living vampire looks good too.
It was after Scorpion, but yeah, it was a long ass arc.
Yeah,
it's a long ass arc. It was like 20 episodes. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna have to go rewatch the Cryogenic Nightmare. I got
it's plus, man.
So that's all the time we have. Zoom is telling me they want to end our meeting. It was a great interview. I love talking to you. This is Chris Tetris Dixon. French. He is the last Foambender, soon to be master. You can catch him on IG, the Black Cosplayer Society, in Facebook, and other avenues. Go ahead and look at his GoFundMe page and join his campaign and give a donation.
Please do, because I need to camera to start these streaming.
And do it. And we'll see you at the cons. All right, thank you.
Okay, guys.